My fellow Americans, and to all those listening around the world today, I want to talk to you about belief. Belief in yourself, belief in others, and belief in the power of change. When I first began my journey in politics, many people told me it couldn't be done. They said, "Oh, Barack, you're too young, you don't have the background, you don't have the connections." But I had something stronger, hope that if we worked hard, stood together, and refused to quit, we could build a better future. Subtitle, Your Dreams Matter. Each one of you has a dream inside. It might be to become a doctor, a teacher, an engineer, a leader, or simply to make your family proud. No matter what it is, your dream matters. Don't ever let anyone tell you it doesn't. You see, success isn't about where you start, it's about how you move forward. My story, like many others, began in humble places. I was raised by a single mother who sometimes struggled to pay the bills, but she taught me something powerful. You're never defined by your circumstances, you're defined by your choices. Subtitle, A Change Begins with You. Change doesn't come from the top down, it comes from the ground up. It begins when ordinary people do extraordinary things. When a student decides to stay up late and study instead of giving up. When a worker chooses honesty over shortcuts. When a citizen votes, speaks out, and stands up for what's right. Every act, no matter how small, can push the world a little closer to justice and peace. Subtitle, Failure is not the end all. I want to be honest, the road is not always easy. You will fall, you will fail, you will doubt yourself. I've failed many times. I've lost elections. I've made mistakes. But I learned that failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of success. Each time you fall, you learn. Each time you struggle, you grow. And if you keep going step by step, one day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. Subtitle it, Together We Can. I've seen the power of unity. How people from different backgrounds, colors, and faiths can come together for a common purpose. Whether it's a small village in Africa or a crowded city in America, the dream is the same, to live with dignity, opportunity, and hope. When we see each other not as enemies, but as partners, not as strangers, but as brothers and sisters, we can overcome anything. Subtitle, Education is power to every young person listening. Education is your most powerful weapon. Knowledge opens doors that strength alone cannot. It gives you the power to think, to question, and to build. Don't waste your potential. Read, ask questions. Never stop learning, because when you educate yourself, you don't just change your life. You change your family, your community, and your country. Subtitle, The Power of Hope. Hope is not blind optimism. It's not ignoring the problems we face. Hope is the belief that no matter how dark it gets, the dawn will come. When I look at young people across the world, full of dreams, energy, and courage, I know that the future is bright. You are the reason I believe that tomorrow can be better than today. Subtitle, Be the Light. The world can sometimes be a hard and unfair place. But don't let that make you bitter. Let it make you better. When others spread hate, spread kindness. When others doubt, show courage. Show courage. When others stay silent, raise your voice. You don't need to be rich or famous to make a difference. You just need to care. You just need to act. Subtitle, Yes, we can. That simple phrase, yes, we can, was never just a campaign slogan. It was a belief. A belief that we can shape our destiny, that we can lift ourselves up and lift each other up no matter the odds. So today I ask you to carry that belief with you in your schools, in your homes, in your hearts. Because when you believe in yourself, when you work hard, when you never give up, there is nothing you cannot achieve. Yes, we can. Yes, you can. And yes, together we will. My fellow Americans, and to everyone listening across the world, today I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful forces we possess, the power of belief. Belief in yourself, belief in others, and belief in the possibility of change. When I began my journey, people said it would be impossible. They said I was too young, too inexperienced, too different. They said that change could not happen. But I chose not to listen to the voices of doubt. I chose to believe that hope, hard work, and unity could move mountains. I believe that ordinary people, when united by a shared vision, could do extraordinary things. That belief guided me every step of the way, and it can guide you too. Each one of you has a dream inside you, something that burns quietly but brightly in your heart. Maybe your dream is to become a teacher who inspires young minds, or a doctor who heals others, or an engineer who builds something that lasts. Maybe your dream is simply to make your parents proud or to give your children a better life. Whatever it is, your dream matters. It matters more than you can imagine, and it doesn't matter where you start. What matters is that you start, because success is not about the position you hold today. It's about the direction you are moving in. I was raised by a single mother who worked hard every day and taught me lessons I still carry with me. She taught me that you are not defined by your circumstances, but by the choices you make in the face of them. You might come from a small village or a big city, from a poor family or a wealthy one, but none of that determines your worth. What defines you is your character, your discipline, and your courage to keep going even when the road gets rough. Change never begins at the top. It begins with people like you. People who choose to care, who decide to act, who refuse to give up. Change happens when a student studies hard, even when nobody is watching. When a worker does his job honestly, even when it's difficult. When a citizen speaks up for justice, even when it's unpopular. Real change grows from the ground up. It begins in our homes, our schools, and our communities. Every small action you take matters. But the truth is, the journey is not always easy. You'll face challenges. You will stumble and fall. You might fail once, twice, or even 100 times. I have failed too. I've lost elections, made mistakes, and doubted myself more than once. But each time I failed, I learned something valuable. Failure is not the end of the road. It is a bend in the road. It's an opportunity to grow stronger, to learn, and to prepare yourself for what's next. The only true failure is when you stop trying, so when life knocks you down, get up. Brush off the dust and keep walking. I have seen with my own eyes what unity can do. I've seen people of different colors, languages, and faiths come together with one purpose: to make life better for one another. When we stop seeing each other as enemies and start seeing each other as partners, as brothers and sisters, we unlock a power that can change the world. We may not look the same, speak the same, or pray the same, but deep inside we all share the same dreams: to live with dignity, opportunity, and peace. To all the young people listening, education is your most powerful weapon. The knowledge you gain today will open doors tomorrow that strength alone cannot. Read as much as you can, ask questions, stay curious, never stop learning, because every bit of knowledge you gain builds your future and strengthens your community. When you learn, you empower not just yourself, but everyone around you. Hope is not blind optimism. It is not pretending that everything is fine when it isn't. Hope is the belief that no matter how dark it gets, the sun will rise again. It is the quiet confidence that even in the hardest of times, things can get better if we keep trying. When I look into the eyes of young people filled with dreams and determination, I know that the future is bright. You are the reason I believe in tomorrow. The world can be harsh, and sometimes it will test you in ways you never expected. People may disappoint you, plans may fail, and things may not go your way. But in those moments, don't let bitterness take root in your heart. Let kindness guide you. When others spread hate, show love. When others doubt you, believe in yourself. When others stay silent, raise your voice for what's right. You don't need wealth or fame to make a difference. You just need courage and compassion. That's why I've always believed in 3 simple words: yes, we can. Those words were never just a campaign slogan. They were a promise, a prompt to together we can shape our destiny. Together we can lift each other up. Together we can face any challenge and overcome any obstacle. So wherever you are, in a classroom, in a field, in a factory, or in your home, remember this: believe in yourself, work hard, and never give up. The world will try to tell you that you can't. Prove it wrong, keep going, keep dreaming, and keep believing, because yes, you can. And together we will. That each one of you carries a dream deep inside your heart. It may be a dream that keeps you awake at night, a dream that pushes you to wake up early every morning, or a dream that gives meaning to your life. Maybe you want to become a doctor who heals the sick, or a teacher who inspires students to believe in themselves. Maybe you want to become an engineer, an artist, a writer, or even a leader who helps others. Big. Or perhaps your dream is something simple yet powerful: to make your parents proud, to give your children a better life, or to bring peace and happiness to your community. Whatever your dream is, remember this: It matters. Your dream has a purpose and your life has meaning. Many people will try to tell you that your dream is too big or that you're not good enough to achieve it. They might say you don't have the money, the education, or the background. But the truth is, every great person in history started small. Every champion began as a beginner. Every hero faced fear and doubt. What made them different was not their power, but their belief. They refused to give up. They refused to stop trying. They held on to their dreams, even when the world told them it was impossible. Success is not about how much you have. It's not about the car you drive or the house you live in. Success is about your journey, how you live, how you grow, and how you lift others along the way. Some people think success is about winning all the time, but true success is about getting up every time you fall. It's about pushing forward when you feel tired and smiling even when life gets hard. I was raised by a single mother who worked hard every day and taught me lessons that shaped my life. She showed me that no matter how tough things get, there's always a reason to keep going. She used to tell me that life isn't about where you start, it's about where you're going. And I want to say that to you too. Never let your situation stop you from dreaming big. Even if you come from a small town, even if you don't have everything others have, your determination can take you farther than you ever imagined. Sometimes you'll face days when you'll feel lost. You'll question yourself. You'll look around and wonder if your dream is even worth it. But those are the moments that make you strong. Those are the moments when you must remind yourself why you started. When you feel weak, remember that even the strongest trees grow from tiny seeds, and those seeds face storms before they bloom. You are that seed. You have everything you need inside you to grow, to rise, and to shine. Dreams don't work unless you do. You can't just wish for success. You have to work for it. Every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. Maybe today you'll study 1 extra hour. Maybe tomorrow you'll learn something new or practice a little harder. Each of those small efforts adds up. One day you'll look back and realize how far you've come. And when success comes, don't forget to lift others up. Don't forget the people who helped you along the way. Help someone else chase their dream. Because success means nothing if you can't use it to make the world a little better. That's the real purpose of achieving something great. To inspire others to do the same. Never be afraid of failure. Failure doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're trying. Every time you fall, you learn. Every time you make a mistake, you grow. Some of the greatest inventors, scientists, and leaders in history failed dozens of times before they succeeded. They didn't stop. They didn't quit. They believed that their effort would one day pay off, and it did. So when life knocks you down, stand back up. When others doubt you, keep believing. When you feel like giving up, remember that every storm ends, and after every dark night, there comes a sunrise. You have a light within you that no one can dim, not even fear or failure. Protect that light. Let it shine. Let it guide you forward. Your dream is your story, and you are the author. Don't let anyone else hold the pen. Write it with courage. Write it with love. And most of all, write it with belief in yourself, belief in your journey, and belief in what you can become. Because no matter who you are or where you come from, your dream is powerful, your potential is endless, and your future is waiting for you to claim it. So don't stop. Keep going. Keep dreaming. And remember, your dreams matter. Always have and always will. Change doesn't start with powerful people in tall buildings or politicians sitting in offices. Real change begins with you, with me, with all of us working together in our everyday life. It begins when ordinary people decide that they will no longer wait for someone else to make things better. They will take that first small step themselves. Sometimes we think that we need to do something huge to change the world, but the truth is change is built from small, consistent actions that come from the heart. When a student chooses to stay up late to study for an exam instead of giving up, that is change. When a person decides to treat others with respect even when no one is watching, that is change. When someone chooses honesty over lies, peace over anger, kindness over hate, that is change. You don't need to be rich, famous, or powerful to make a difference. You just need to care enough to try. The power to change things has always been in the hands of the people. History shows us this again and again. Civil rights movements, revolutions for freedom, campaigns for justice. None of them started with people in power. They started with ordinary men and women who believed that their voices mattered. They stood up when others stayed silent. They marched when others stayed home. They spoke the truth even when it was dangerous. And because they did, the world became a better place. Every great movement began with one small ideal, one brave person, and one hopeful heart. Maybe you don't realize it, but every time you make a positive choice, you're part of that same movement. You are shaping the future one decision at a time. Maybe you're helping a classmate who struggles. Maybe you're protecting the environment by planting a tree. Or maybe you're just spreading kindness in a world that often forgets how important it is. Every good action sends out ripples, and those ripples can grow into waves. But change is not easy. It takes courage to do what's right when others are doing what's wrong. It takes strength to speak up when everyone else stays quiet. It takes patience to keep going when progress feels slow. You might not see results right away, but every small effort adds up. The truth is, the people who change the world are not the ones who talk the loudest. They are the ones who keep going quietly day after day, believing that their work matters. Sometimes the world will test your faith. You'll face people who laugh at your ideas, who tell you that you can't make a difference, who say, that's just how things are. But never believe that. Never accept that things can't change. Every big achievement in human history started with someone who refused to accept the world as it was. If you believe that kindness, honesty, and justice are worth fighting for, then don't give up on them, ever. Change begins inside you. It begins with the choices you make every day. The way you treat people, the way you speak, the way you act when no one is looking. The change you want to see in the world has to start within your own heart. If you want peace, be peaceful. If you want honesty, be truthful. If you want kindness, be kind. The world reflects who we are, not what we say. We are all connected. The actions of one person can touch the lives of hundreds, even thousands. When you help someone today, that person may help someone else tomorrow. And that kindness spreads like sunlight across the world. That's the beauty of change. It grows, it multiplies, and it inspires others. And remember, sometimes change happens slowly. Sometimes it takes years, even generations. But don't lose hope. The most important thing is to keep trying. Keep planting seeds of goodness, even if you may not live to see them grow. Because one day, someone else will sit under the shade of the tree you planted. One day, someone will be inspired because of your courage. So never think you're too small to make a difference. Never think your voice doesn't matter. The greatest power in the world belongs not to the people who rule, but to the people who care. If you care enough to take one step forward, to be better, kinder, braver, then you are already changing the world. Every act of honesty, every word of kindness, every moment of compassion brings us closer to the world we dream of. You don't have to change the whole planet overnight. You just have to start where you are with what you have. Because that's how every great story of change begins. Not with someone else, but with you. I want to be honest with you. The road to success, to growth, to becoming who you are meant to be is not always easy. There will be moments when you feel tired, moments when you question everything, and moments when you think about giving up. Life will test you in ways you never expected. You will fall. You will fail. You will doubt yourself. But here's what I want you to remember. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Every failure carries a lesson. Every mistake makes you stronger. Every fall teaches you how to rise again. I have failed many times in my life. I have lost elections, faced rejection, and made mistakes. There were days when I felt like the world was against me. But each time I fell, I asked myself one question: what can I learn from this? And each time I stood up again a little wiser, a little stronger, a little more determined. Because I learned that failure doesn't define you. How you respond to it does. Think about the people who inspire you. Great scientists, inventors, leaders, athletes, every single one of them has failed, sometimes more than anyone else. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before creating the light bulb. Michael Jordan missed hundreds of shots before becoming a legend. These people didn't succeed because they never failed. They succeeded because they never stopped trying. They used their failures as fuel to push forward. When things go wrong, it's easy to feel that you're not good enough. It's easy to think you don't have what it takes. But those thoughts are lies that fear tells you. The truth is, nobody starts out strong. Nobody becomes great overnight. Success takes time, effort, patience, and most importantly, resilience. You must learn to keep moving forward even when the path feels dark. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. The pain you feel today is the strength you will carry tomorrow. The struggle you face today is building the foundation of your success. It may not make sense now, but someday you'll look back and realize that every challenge taught you something essential. It taught you endurance. It taught you patience. It taught you to trust yourself. Failure doesn't mean you should stop. It means you're trying something new. It means you're daring to go beyond your comfort zone. It means you're brave enough to dream. The people who never fail are the ones who never try. And the ones who never try are the ones who never truly live. So don't be afraid of failing. Be afraid of not trying at all. When you fall, don't let shame or fear hold you down. Pick yourself up, take a deep breath, and take another step forward. You may not run right away, but even walking is progress. Each small step counts. Remember, even the tallest mountains are climbed one step at a time. You just have to keep moving no matter how slow it feels. There will be people who doubt you. There will be people who laugh when you fail. Let them, because one day those same people will watch you succeed. And you won't need to prove anything to them. Your journey will speak for itself. Don't waste energy on trying to impress others. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. You see, failure is like fire. It can burn you or it can shape you. It depends on how you use it. If you let it consume you, it will destroy your confidence. But if you learn from it, it will make you stronger than ever before. You must decide how your failures will shape you. Let them teach you humility. Let them remind you to stay grounded, and let them push you to grow. One day you will reach your goal. You'll stand on that stage, hold that degree, build that career, or fulfill that dream. And when you do, you'll realize that every hardship, every tear, every late night was worth it. You'll see that without those failures, you wouldn't be who you are. You wouldn't have the strength, the wisdom, or the courage that defines you. So when you fail, don't say a why me. Instead, say a try me. Because life's greatest victories belong to those who refuse to quit. Keep believing in yourself even when no one else does. Keep going even when the road feels long, because every time you get up after falling, you prove to the world and to yourself that you are unstoppable. Failure is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It is the bridge that connects who you are today to who you are destined to become. Embrace it, learn from it, and let it guide you forward, because every time you rise after falling, you become stronger, wiser, and closer to your dreams. And that unbreakable spirit is what true success is all about. I have seen with my own eyes the incredible power that unity holds. When people come together, setting aside their differences to work toward a shared goal, amazing things can happen. I have seen communities rebuild after disasters, not because of one person's effort, but because everyone stood side by side, helping each other without asking for anything in return. I have seen people of different faiths, colors, and languages hold hands, proving that we can always find common ground if we have the will to look for it. The truth is, we are all connected. Our stories might be different, our struggles may not look the same, but our dreams are often alike. No matter where we live or what we believe, we all want to live in peace, to have a fair chance, and to see our children grow up in a better world. That is what unites us. When we remember that, we realize that there is far more that brings us together than what divides us. I have seen people in small villages who have almost nothing still share food with their neighbors. I have seen strangers come together to protect someone they didn't even know. I have seen young people from different backgrounds join hands to fight for justice, equality, and freedom. That is the strength of humanity, the belief that we can rise higher together than we ever could alone. But unity does not mean we will always agree on everything. It does not mean we will never argue or face conflict. What it means is that even when we disagree, we do not forget our shared humanity. We can debate without hating, we can differ without dividing, and we can stand strong without tearing each other down. Real unity is not about being the same. It's about standing together even when we're not. In today's world, it is easy to see what separates us. We see different flags, languages, and beliefs. We hear voices telling us to fear those who are not like us. But I have learned that fear builds walls, while understanding builds bridges. When we open our hearts and minds to others, we begin to see that beneath our differences, we all share the same hopes: to live with dignity, to be treated with respect, and to build a better future for those who come after us. When we come together, our strength multiplies. A single voice may be ignored, but millions speaking together cannot be silenced. A single light may flicker in the dark, but when countless lights shine together, they can brighten the world. That is the power of unity. It is not just about politics or nations, it's about people helping people, communities lifting each other, and humanity choosing compassion over cruelty. I have seen this power during moments of great challenge. In times of crisis, when storms destroy homes, when disease spreads, or when injustice strikes, it is always unity that brings hope. People forget their differences and stand side by side because deep down they know that the pain of one is the pain of all. That is the moment when humanity shows its true strength. Unity gives us the courage to keep moving forward even when life feels impossible. It reminds us that none of us can do everything alone, but together there is nothing we cannot do. Whether it's rebuilding a community, fighting for equality, or chasing a dream, unity turns impossible into possible. I believe that when we see each other not as enemies, but as brothers and sisters, we can overcome anything. When we stop judging others by the color of their skin, their accent, or their background, and instead see the goodness within them, we create a world where everyone belongs. The truth is, the world doesn't need more walls. It needs more bridges. It doesn't need more hate. It needs more love. It doesn't need more division. It needs more understanding. When you choose to help instead of harm, to listen instead of argue, to love instead of hate, you are already changing the world. You are proving that unity is not just a dream, it's a choice we can make every day. And when more people make that choice, when more people choose kindness and compassion over selfishness and fear, then the world begins to heal. No one can do everything, but everyone can do something. One smile, one kind word, one act of respect can start a chain reaction that spreads far beyond what you can see. The power of unity lies in these small actions because they create trust, they build hope, and they remind us that we are not alone. So wherever you are, whoever you are, remember that you are part of something greater than yourself. You belong to the human family. And as long as we stand together, there is no challenge we cannot face, no dream we cannot reach, and no darkness we cannot light. Because together we are always stronger.